Four Seasons, Not Just a Pizza, December 1963. I've got a delicious lady in front of me who is called Sheila Hannon. Hello, Sheila. How are you?
Hello, Andy Bennett.
How are you?
I'm all right, really, for a Saturday morning in the rain, yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to see you. It's nice. Can I just say, your hair is fabulous. How do you get it to stand up like that?
I speak to it very firmly.
There must be a lot of hairspray going on.
Altered Image.
Is that what it is?
Salon, Clifton Village.
That's what you do, is it?
Yeah.
Well,
no. My wonderful hairdressers.
Okay, fair enough.
But I just spray it and talk to it.
And it holds up. Well, fair enough. That's nice. Like a plant. When you talk to plants, and they grow really well.
Sort of like that, yeah.
Well, next weekend, the reason you're here is because next weekend marks the anniversary of the death of Bristol-born actor Archie Leech, known as Cary Grant, which I think we all, like, you know, when people have real names.
Yes.
Right, who's that? But even when you say Archibald Leech, everyone sort of knows it's Cary Grant, don't they, really? Generally,
they do. They seem to, sometimes it takes a while and they go, oh, yeah, Archie Leech. Oh, yeah, Cary Grant. Yeah.
Well, to highlight the occasion, there's going to be a screening of Penny Serenade, the 1941 film that earned Cary Grant an Oscar. And that same day, Show of Strength will conduct a theatre walk called Raising Cary Grant. And you are part of Show of Strength. So who is Show of Strength?
It's a theatre company. And in fact, we've been going 40 years next year.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, 1986. And I started it up with other people. And we've kind of, but we've been going nearly 40 years. And we've done a lot of stuff. We started the theatre at the Tobacco Factory. We started the theatre at the Hen and Chicken. And now we do we do a lot of outdoor stuff now, particularly since COVID. We do a lot of walks, which is how the Cary Grant walk came about.
Well, if you look at in the Southwest, there's so many different strings to theatre bows, and if you look at places like the Hippodrome, and we're talking about that later with the Panto, and if you go over to, say, Bath and you go to Theatre Royal, we're very lucky, you know, the Everyman in Cheltenham and Salisbury Place. There's a lot. We've got some lovely theatres in the West Country, haven't we? We absolutely have. And I mean, we've worked with quite a lot. We've worked with done partnerships with Cheltenham Everyman in the past, with Exeter Northcote. Yeah. And what I really do like as well is, like, it's a long time ago, 40 years that we started, Show of Strength started. Was your hair like that 40 years ago? No. Oh, okay. It does take a bit of time. Oh, does okay. You've got it, it takes a bit of... 40 years of love. yeah. And quite a bit of dye. Actually, it's a tip, if you want your hair to stand up, the dye doesn't half help. Oh, does it? Yeah, because it makes apparently expands the follicle or something. Oh. So when the dye's growing out, it can get a bit limp, Andy. Can it? Yeah. Well, that's an age thing, isn't it? Partly. Where was I? I don't know. But you saying you've worked with all the theatres and you've worked with a lot of them. Yes. And it's good to have that relationship, isn't it? It is. And one of the things I know where we were. Like 40 years ago, there was more public funding available. It was easier to start up. And now it's much harder to find work. But I love the way in the Southwest, certainly, which is the area I know best, there is a lot of young people are starting their own companies and creating their own work, despite how difficult it is to do that. So I think it's very encouraging. And with the walks, because you do all sorts of, like, you do theatre walks, you do like the ghost walks are very popular and things like that. What about, like, the TV location-y ones? Do you do stuff like that, or is it more theatre-based? Because there's a lot of stuff that gets filmed. Yeah. Do you ever do the sort of walk around the Broadchurch bits or go... We haven't done that yet, but we might. I mean, in a way, the Cary Grant, Raising Cary Grant tour it's about him. It's not about locations. Yeah. But we take you to the places that he knew. Yeah, so let's get back to that then, because this is what you're doing. Yeah. The Raising Cary Grant. So where do you go? Do you go to where he was born? Do you go to where he performed? What's on the walk? Well, we can't go where he was. We focus on the Bristol city centre. Yeah. So we can't go where he was born because he was born up in Horfield, which is great. There's a plaque there now. Yeah. So his Bristol is quite complicated. But what we do focus on is when he was, like, I think he was 12 or 13, he got his first job backstage at the Hippodrome. Yeah. And that theatre is great because Bristol Hippodrome, because it's 1912, and I think it is, and it's still got the original stage door. And Denmark Street was his. Yeah. He came. Really interesting when he came back, because obviously he spent a lot of time in America, and was not over in here through the Second World War because of the conflict. And it seems that when he did come back, like late 1940s, and saw the terrible devastation in Bristol that the bombing had done,
it kind of broke his heart because he remembered his Bristol, and
that was his first job. Yeah,
it wasn't his Bristol anymore. But the Denmark Street. So we go lots of places. We go to Castle Park because there's a big reference. It's lots of stuff to do with him, as it was before the war, before the bombing.
Yeah.
So we our walks are always about kind of looking at places and maybe how they've changed and how people relate to them. And there's a lot still in Denmark Street that was there, like on the centre. There used to be an optician's called Dunscombe's. I bet a lot of people remember it. It kind of like had an eye chart virtually next to the hippodrome on the centre. It said Dunscombe's Opticians, and there was an eye chart painted on the wall. Well, the later photographs of Cary when he's older, he wears great big black spectacles, square specs, and he said he wore those because he didn't want to. He was so beautiful, wasn't he? He said he had bags under his eyes, and he didn't want to have surgery, so he wore the specs. But he always got them from Dunscombe's when he came to Bristol. So he did have this great relationship to the end of his life with the city.
Where did he pass away in America?
Gosh, I should know that, shouldn't I? Yes, I think it was.
I don't think it was in his home country, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Because we do hang on to that, and we've chatted about Cary Grant a lot, because you hang on to your local talent. If you've got a link to that person, and he did very, very well in America, so of course we're always going to fly the flag for the Southwest where he came from. We do that with a lot of people. But it's one of those things that, because it's in the great span of the universe, it's actually quite close. In 100 years' time, you don't want people to forget these people, do you? Because it's a bit like World War II, World War I. In a couple of 100 years' time, that might get forgot because the stories will go.
Yes.
Because it's too far away from it.
Yes.
Whereas people like Cary Grant and famous people that we know we want to link to, you want to keep those stories going, otherwise they'll get lost.
And I think with someone like Cary Grant, I think those stories will last. He was the most wanted actor in the world at the time, and I think 100 years from now, he was so good. I think he will. I mean, interesting, isn't it? If 100 years from now, we won't be here, but what will be remembered then? That fascinates me. The things we think are important now, are they? What actually will last? I think he will, and I think one of the things that I just think is so fascinating about him is that his childhood was so difficult and poor, really, and deprived, and yet when you look at him as a movie star, the tan, the clothes, he looks like he was kind of royalty. Do you know what I mean? He looks like he had organic milk from the age of 3.
Very debonair. That's the word I'm using.
Yeah, and so well groomed. He doesn't look like a poor kid who made it all right in the end. He looks like a posh kid from the beginning.
But that's where the fascination comes from. When people, it's the rags to riches, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's the people that didn't grow up with a silver spoon. They grew up almost on the streets, and here's where they come from. That's why people probably enjoy that history side of it when you do your tours.
I think he is the. I would find it really hard to find a better rags to riches story than his.
Is this why you do it? Because 40 years of doing Show of Strength, is it because of those people, that fascination with people? Because I like people. I read biographies. I don't read fiction. I read about things that I only read. I've never read a Harry Potter book. I've never read Lord of the Rings, but not because they're not fascinating, but I like to read about things that actually happened, people's stories.
Yes.
And I think that's where we are as people interested in other people. Is that why you've done it for 40 years?
I think it is. Local stories, places as well. I love that interaction between a person's story and the place they lived in. Somehow it's almost like putting a bit of, baking powder in a cake and seeing a cake rise. It's sort of those things and you learn, don't you, from other people's lives. You kind of they fascinate you and they shed life on your own experiences.
And like you mentioned with the eye chart there, when you see an old black and white picture from years ago and they've got the eye chart, or they've got maybe a part of architecture is there in that photo, and then you walk by it and it's still there.
Yes.
It's like, I know it sounds really strange to say, but you think, blimey, that's seen some things. It's that type of situation, isn't it? When you see those before and now pictures, but the church is still the same in the middle, and you think, blimey, look how different it is. But you've got that point of reference.
Exactly, you have a point of reference. And in a world that is really quite difficult and challenging and constantly changing, things that give meaning, I think, and stories that have meaning and resonate are really, really necessary.
Well, it's a very theatrical hour, this one is, because we've just chatted about Cary Grant. In a minute, I got Sooty and Sweep coming on.
Have you?
Well, because they're doing the panto at Bristol Hippodrome.
I might try and hang around for that.
I've already done it. I've already been in. They're not. I've already done them.
Did I miss
know.
it?
No, I've already been out because they didn't. No, I've been out to meet them. They're the calibre of star that they won't come to you. I've got to go to them. So I went to do.
I aspire to that.
So show us strength. Give us some where we can find out more when you're doing it. Give us some plugins.
Thanks so much. Well, we've got a Cary Grant tour on the 29th of November, tying in with a showing of Penny Serenade.
Yep.
Penny Serenade, great. There's a choir. There's all kinds of stuff happening with that showing. There's live piano, so it's going to be great. Check it out. Our Cary Grant tour on the 29th is sold out, but we'll be back soon with more. Meanwhile, over Christmas and New Year, we've got, for the first time ever, we've got some outdoor walks happening over Christmas and New Year. We've got a Blood and Butchery in Bedminster tour, and we're working with House of Frankenstein in Bath to do the Frankenstein experience. So we can show you all about the extraordinary Gothic side of Bath.
You like the gruesome, don't you?
Oh, you can't beat it. Yeah, you can't beat it. People's stories and a bit of gruesome, but always tasteful, I think.
Always tasteful. Sheila Hannon.
I should have said showofstrength.org.uk.
Showofstrength.org.uk. Sheila Hannon, good to see you again.
And you, thanks.